Welcome
to
the
the second
podcast
on
our
channel. That went quite well, actually.
did
No,
it?
it didn't.
No,
we
it
didn't plan to do that, by the way. That just sort of happened.
Okay, so we've come up with a name, right?
Yes.
Well, actually,
Eventually.
we came up with multiple names, but it turns out some of those names have already been taken.
All of those names were taken.
So
Every single one, even the ones that people suggested, every single one was taken somewhere else.
So we've decided to go with one of the first ones that our boy Ryan
Senior, shout out to him.
Gave to us, which was the Creation Project.
Yeah.
Which you've already seen that, because obviously you clicked on the video. And
It will be in the title of the video, and probably the thumbnail.
But yeah, the Creation Project.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think of it.
Is it good? Is it bad? Should we stop?
Let's just finish this podcast thing
All
on
right,
this
well
episode.
done, and see you later. No, I'm joking.
Also, so we have ideas for a set now.
Yeah,
So
which isn't
hopefully,
happening just yet, but will happen eventually.
hopefully
It's
when we
sort
get
of
into
advanced,
maybe the third, fifth podcast, we'll have a camera set up
and
a
a
background.
somewhat appealing background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We
yeah,
are working in a garage.
so you'll be able to watch us rather than just listen.
Yeah. Whoa. Dragging them on two sensory fronts.
Indeed.
Audible and visual.
And we'll have to clear out the spiders in here.
Oh yeah, so we came in this morning and I went to put up the cover that we used to stop our audio from echoing, because otherwise the sound just bounces all the way to the end of the garage. But instead we put up a big blanket and I went to slide it under the panel of the roof, and there is a ball of web, and I kid you not, a ball with a spider just laying on it. So we looked it up, and it's a nest.
It's like a sack.
It's an egg sac.
An egg
A
sack.
spider's egg sac. So the curtain is a bit more drooped because it can't be put in its right place, so it doesn't look as good.
It's even more B-Tech than
Even
usual.
more B-Tech than normal.
We don't want to disturb the sack because
We intended to burn it, but
the matches wouldn't light.
the matches have gone damp because we left them in the garage, so the matches won't light, so we can't burn it. We looked up, apparently you're supposed to vacuum it.
Vacuum it and then clear out the vacuum as soon as, but then I can't be bothered doing that, so...
Yeah, we can't be bothered getting a vacuum now, so it's
Not right now,
sort of our
anyway.
mascot at the moment.
A spider egg mascot.
Which
Great.
we really don't enjoy the company of.
I hope it leaves.
I hope it. No, it won't leave.
Okay, Sam. So, what is the topic for this podcast?
Well, this was something we've been talking about all week and still hadn't decided on until about a few minutes ago, actually.
Don't tell them that. It
Tell
sounds
them this is
unprofessional.
unprofessional.
God.
So, well, we've got a few. We'll probably. It's not as streamlined as just one topic, because the ideas that we have for that we want to save for later.
Save for possible guests.
Possible guests. So now we're just sort of using a collaboration of half-assed ideas.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is kind of like the Superman of podcasts. It's just like a load of random powers put into one.
And
Like, put together it's alright, but individually they're not very strong.
it'll do.
It'll do.
It'll do.
It'll do.
So what's his first?
Well, we wanted to start. Do we want to start with this?
Yes.
This is the upsides to not having a camera yet. I can show Adam things without having to say things. So our first one, we took inspiration from a song, didn't we?
Ah, yes. A song by The Lonely
The
Island.
Lonely Island, who is a great band that you should all check out. If you don't know The Lonely Island, it is a band featuring Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yep. And
It's his band.
They did that song.
And if you don't know Brooklyn Nine-Nine, then I can't help you there.
They did that song. I just had sex.
That was one of their great hits.
And it felt so good. I'm pretty sure everyone
knows that song. No one knows who it's by though.
By the Lonely Island.
By the Lonely Island. Check them out. Anyway, so this song is called Incredible Thoughts.
So we decided to talk about a few of our incredible thoughts.
So what is the definition of an incredible thought?
I don't know, that's an odd question.
I kind of just sprung that one on you, didn't I?
An incredible thought is something out of the ordinary.
That you just think of it and you're like, whoa, that's weird.
You think of it and you
kind
just think, wow, my mind just blew my mind.
Out-of-body experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you sit there for about 10 minutes thinking of what you've just thought of.
Yeah. Right. Do you have any that you want to start with? I've got a list that I've compiled through the week. I say through the week. I started on Thursday. And it is now Sunday. And I didn't do any today.
Well, you did. You did one.
I did one today.
Yeah. No, you just start with the list then.
Okay. I don't know which is the best one to start with here. Do we start with the most controversial one of all? Start off on a strong...
Yeah.
Okay,
Start off on a high.
This is more of a question than a thought, but it's still one that is definitely one to think about. Oh, I've just had some crows fly over or something. Is water wet?
Let that sink in for a minute.
Just think about it. Is water actually wet? I'll let you form an opinion. Okay, good. Now, Adam, what is your opinion on this question?
Water is wet.
My opinion is that water is not wet.
Ooh.
Which we're quite happy about because this means we can have a discussion rather than just be like, is water wet? Yep, okay, move on.
Right, cool. We agree.
So, no, I'm quite happy about this.
Okay, so what's your main reason for water's not wet?
Water wet because when something is in water, it isn't wet. When you are in water, if you are fully submerged in water, you are not wet. It is when you come out of the water that you then become wet.
That makes no sense.
What is your...
When you're in water, you are wet. The water is wet.
Well, this question comes from what is the definition of wet, really, doesn't it? When it boils down to it.
Of course.
What is the definition of wet?
I don't know, actually.
I feel like, to me, the definition of wet is where you are mostly dry, but there's like a thin layer of water on you. Or not water, not even water, it could be any sort of liquid.
Okay, right, so I think...
That is drying.
Wet is like... So, any liquid is wet. So it's something that's just moist with some form of liquid, if that makes sense.
You've thrown another word into it there. Moist. You've thrown moist into it there. Yes. Now, where does moist lie on a scale of water to wet?
Well, moist can be
somewhere
anything.
in between, or is it?
Well, it is somewhere in between. Wet is like fully, you're wet,
soaked.
Whereas moist is like you tap it a bit and it's like it feels a bit moist.
Yeah, like those matches were this morning.
Yeah.
Those matches. Well, that's another word. Damp.
Damp. Yeah.
Well, they're pretty much the same. Damp and moist.
Damp and
moist. It gives more indications of like its texture. I think.
Right. I sort of see it moist with like moss.
Yeah.
Just because they sound similar. So that's...
No, but I do as well.
So when I think of moist, I think of like a spongy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas damp, I'll think of like a dog.
Okay, yeah.
Or
well,
like
that's what I mean. It's like
clothes.
its texture. It's the difference then.
Yeah.
Rather than its scientific properties.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas wet, that is just anything can be wet.
Anything can be wet, but not everything is wet in my opinion. If a fish is in water, a fish is not wet.
Okay, so let's switch it round. Are you dry right now?
Yeah.
Right. But what if you went, oh, I'm not dry? That's just like saying water's not wet. It's kind of... It's a really rubbish point that I've just made.
We're also making this debate having done almost zero prior research to it. I could have gone away and looked it up and got a bit more educated on the matter, but we both chose not to.
I have looked it up before. Like, I had another argument with my mate. And I found that a lot of scientists are conflicted. That's what I found.
I think it's all, yeah. I remember it being a conflicted matter.
For something... Okay, so water can make you wet, right?
Hold on, wait. I'm just going to pause you there for a second. We should start a timer. I'm going to start one now whilst you're talking.
Right, so water can make you wet, right?
Yes.
So therefore, for water to make you wet, it has to be wet itself.
This is what I mean. We're going back to the definition of wet now, aren't we?
Are we?
I think. So you've got your states. I don't know what. It's an interesting topic. I feel like we could talk about this for the rest of the podcast, and we'd probably get nowhere. Neither of us will move.
No, I'm gonna convince you. What is it? I remember I have a mate who's really into science, right, or whatever, and into all this stuff and chemistry. I don't do science. I go to a drama school.
We go to drama college.
Do you really think I'm clever? Yeah. So he was talking about like the electrons and stuff like that. And saying that for water to make an object wet, it has to be neutralized. I want to say.
Throwing around big words now.
I want to say neutralized by the air around it. So say I put my phone into water, it is not neutralized by the air yet because the air hasn't reached it because it's in water. And when you bring the phone out, that's when air touches it, making it wet.
That's sort of an argument of why water is not wet.
Yeah, but I think, but then I think no, that's.
Thank you for that point.
But then I think no, that's really dumb because you've just put it in the wet thing. You put your phone
because
into.
It's not the act of the water that makes something wet. It is the presence of something being outside of water. Or a liquid, should I say, rather than water. After being in water.
Right. I don't think it is though.
Because it's different though. It's different.
It's
texture. Have you felt
yeah.
So say your leg is in water, right? You're having a bath. Your leg is in water, and you feel like your hand is also in the water whilst you feel it. You feel how like maybe the hairs on your leg feel or something.
Mm-hmm.
Compare that to how it is when the leg is then being moved out of water.
Yeah, it's just cold.
No,
what's your point?
Like, have you ever been to a sea life centre and you've been able to go into have those pools where you can like touch a starfish and stuff like that? I've done that where you touch like something that's in the water and then they lift it out. It feels different.
I mean, I guess.
I think
That's a different. It's because it is in a different surrounding.
But
that's
not what wet is.
No, because it's just in a different surrounding. It's gonna feel different when you're completely surrounded in water. Because that is extremely wet. It's like 100% wet. When you get out of the water, you're like 30% wet.
I feel like the definition of wet is something being wet compared to how dry the stuff around it is. Sort of.
In comparison of things around.
Sort of fish fully in the water is not wet. But like my hand that I've just dipped in a pool and lifted out is wet.
Interesting. Well, I think water is wet.
I'm wrong.
I think you are, because for it to make things wet, it has to be wet itself, right? Is that not
Or does it?
sound logic?
I don't know. I'm not gonna budge on the matter, no matter what you say.
What do you guys think?
What do you guys let us know?
Comment below.
Comment below.
Leave a like, subscribe.
Anyway, we'll move on from that one because, God, we could go on
Yeah.
for a long time and just not make any progression. And probably make less sense the further we go.
Yeah.
This is also something very common in Incredible Thoughts. They tend to make less sense the more you think about it.
That's true. What's the next one?
This is one I thought about when we started to do this, so it's the first one on the list. When we thought we could do Incredible Thoughts. Houses are just big boxes. I'll let that sink in for a second.
Sam, will you repeat that for us?
Houses are just big boxes. I'll talk about that a little bit more now. Because, I mean, we was in the car when I thought of this, and as you're driving in the car, have you ever, like, looked at the houses and been able to see, like, all the way through? Like, through the front and back, obviously it depends on how the house is laid out, but, like, through the front and back window,
Yeah.
and then see exactly what was on the other side of the house. I saw that and I just thought it was weird, because it is just a big box.
It's a big box filled with smaller boxes, i.e. being rooms.
Yeah.
And then rooms filled, or boxes filled with other boxes, which is i.e. furniture.
Okay.
Our lives are just lived in
Boxes.
surrounded by
Like, why is there no
boxes.
circular houses? Why is it not just a sphere? Well, that
Interesting.
wouldn't be as easy of a unit of measurement, would it?
And I
Imagine
feel like
a
it'd be very
sideways
awkward.
sphere.
Yeah.
It
And
doesn't compare as much to a sideways house.
would the rooms curve with the sphere shape?
You completely missed the reference that I was putting down.
Oh well, why? What was it?
Let's see if... No, I'll just see if people remember. Let's see if people...
I'm gonna listen to that
Get-
back now.
I'll see if people get what I was going for then. Anyway, but yeah. I know why houses are squares and not circles. It's because for design purposes.
Okay. All right. Ha ha ha. Make fun of the retard.
It's alright. We understand.
Okay. The only reason I said that was because
Leave. I don't even think we need to address it.
In fact,
it's been put out in the
that's
air.
just one of my incredible thoughts.
That's only your incredible thoughts. They're everywhere. But yeah, it's just weird because it's like we look for shelter, don't we? I mean, I know that's because the elements. Like we was like looking for a place to film this podcast, and he was like, "Oh, my garage. We could have done it in one of our rooms, maybe, but we was like, no, we'll use the garage." And then we suddenly had a desire to do it up and make it something
Where did that even come from?
close to us.
I think. Okay.
So we have a desire to live in these boxes and then make them a part of
Look
us.
pretty.
Yeah, when they don't need to be, they just need to be functional.
Isn't that with everything though?
Yeah, but that's
So we have a
another-
desire to increasing, like, I don't know,
make
status
things personal.
and stuff, or like get a better career, or like, you know.
We have desire to look nice with our clothes, even though they just need to be functional.
Yeah, they need to just keep us warm,
And I
cover
mean,
us
some
up.
people don't. Some people.
Don't wear clothes.
I was gonna say don't have a desire to make it personal and just have a functional purpose, but yeah, some people don't wear clothes as well.
Nudists, innit? They're mad. No, because they go out in like forests and stuff and just chill out
Yeah.
naked.
They
How
feel
cold.
like they have to go back to the roots of modern technology.
Would you
Feel
dare?
like technology is. We're sort of going into one that we talked about earlier,
Are we?
which is evolution.
This is an interesting one.
This is an interesting.
Because I feel like we have evolved over the past.
As people, yeah, but I don't feel like the human race will evolve that much, or if it will, it'll be not or how we would naturally evolve.
I think we are evolving. We're evolving to suit what we've made.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, yes.
We're evolving to suit, so like athletes, everyone's getting taller, faster, like skinnier if you're a marathon runner, whatever. Everyone's trying to up one each other, and eventually it's going to be survival of the fittest.
I don't feel like it will, though. I don't feel like it'll go that far. Because we don't need to. If it was a case of the only... Because this is why we evolve. Survival of the fittest comes into play when, say it was marathon runners, if only marathon runners were getting fed, so only marathon runners would reproduce.
That's true. That is
But
true.
it's not. It goes on how smart you are. And not even that. Because you don't have to be smart to reproduce. Now, this is why I don't feel like we just won't evolve.
I feel
because
like
you don't have... It's... For survival of the fittest, it's literally just all you need to reproduce, which nowadays is nothing.
True. Well, actually, nowadays it's probably harder than it's ever been before.
But there's more methods about doing it. Because, I mean, I suppose before, like, back when we was cavemen,
Yeah.
it had just, like, who was the alpha.
Yeah, who was the biggest, strongest, whatever.
That's what it's like with monkeys. Who is the biggest, who is the strongest. But now, it's not just who is the biggest, who is the strongest.
Now this is social evolution.
Yes.
So
yes.
we have three sides. So we have like physical, then we have intellectual, and then social.
I feel like it's a bit of the last two. It could be all of them. No, it's all of them now.
I feel like we're losing more the physical side. Yes, the athletes who train for it are getting better,
but they
and
don't
getting
need that to
taller,
reproduce.
but they don't.
And who's to say that their children will be that? So then their children may just not become marathon runners, and then just end that bloodline of marathon runners.
But everyone's getting taller. I swear the average height has increased since the 1900s.
Maybe.
The average height
That
is
wouldn't
like
surprise me.
increased by not a foot, an inch, or 2 inches or something.
Maybe.
A foot would be ridiculous.
Imagine if in like 30 years' time everyone's like a foot taller. Like, God, you're only 6 foot.
Is that it? Ugh.
That's it.
But that means we'd have to start building things bigger.
We'd have to start making things bigger. Or just living in older houses, because they have bigger roofs.
Yeah. But then again, you'd have to just start making modern houses that we've got now.
But it's a good job we don't adapt that fast, isn't it? And grow that fast.
Imagine.
Otherwise, we'd be screwed.
See, the social side of it is very interesting now, because back in the day, it'd literally be, that's my woman.
Yeah, but now anyone can reproduce. And people can reproduce with multiple people, and it's like it's not unheard of.
Yeah, and there's a choice now.
There's a choice now.
There's so much.
It takes nothing to
selection.
The only thing that I can imagine is because it's got to be a constant, right? For us to evolve. It can't affect one part of us, or a small part of us. It's why we'll never grow wings, because we don't need them.
Damn it.
If we needed them to survive, then yeah, we'd probably evolve to grow wings. But I can't think of a scenario where
That'd be so cool.
It's so cool. We should. That's like an evil. That's literally your supervillain backstory made right there. You become a supervillain and use some sort of device to make the world, so you can only survive if you have wings. And then everyone eventually has, in like millennia, people eventually just all have wings. And then your master plans.
Would the wings be a part of the arms, or would the wings be its own
limb? Do we still
limb?
need the arms to survive?
Ah, yes.
Then yes.
But no.
If
but
we
then
don't,
you just start turning into birds.
If the reason why we need the wings is so that we can fly and then use our hands, if the people with wings for arms didn't survive, and the people with wings and arms survived, then yeah, we'd need wings and arms.
Well, surely wings and arms would be 10 times better.
Yeah, but it's like you get rid of stuff that you don't need. That's why T-Rexes had short arms, because they didn't need them.
I feel like it's like a points system.
It very much a point system. I watch a YouTube channel, right? I watch a YouTube channel, and it talks about like evolution and stuff. As though it's a game.
That's exactly how
And
I've always
it's
thought
really
of it.
interesting because like it uses like game technology, and it's like, oh, this class, maybe talking about birds, expect more points into
Yeah.
a sight and stuff like that. And it talks about it like that. I'll show you it afterwards because it's really cool and interesting.
Yeah, because at the start of games, so like Fallout 4, for example, you have like a choice of charisma, strength, and all that, and you pick what points you want. So with humans,
It's all in intelligence.
Yeah, we smashed out intelligence, which
as opposed to
obviously
everything else.
obviously the best tactic.
Whereas like lions and not lions isn't as good as an example as alligators. It's all in like power.
Yeah, power and
stealth.
like stealth. Yeah. I was gonna say.
Because like the one that I watched, the classes I think the things are intelligence, power, defense, stealth, mobility.
I was gonna say speed, but mobility is speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty much.
So like alligators like maxed out in power and like stealth.
Yeah, and like bears, maxed
Bears
out.
are like quite average across all of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Maybe stealth being the lowest.
Stealth, but yeah, I was gonna say
Stealth being the lowest,
stealth being
but
lowest.
fairly average.
And they're doing pretty.
And
Pretty
so are
good.
gorillas. With except more in intelligence and a lot less in stealth.
Gorillas are mad.
Gorillas are crazy.
'Cause
Have you seen that thing, that post where it's like choose 2 of them to protect you,
Oh
and the
yeah,
rest
yeah.
are coming after you, and it's like 3 gorillas, 5 bears,
See what you do
10,000 rats,
is you'd
50
make
eagles,
you'd
1
make
person.
like spears and stuff for the gorillas, or like bows, big boy bows for gorillas.
It's the bow. I think if you're giving a gorilla a bow and arrow, you're probably not using it to its best capability.
No,
You're not
okay.
really playing to its strengths there, right?
You'd put like armor on the gorilla, then, wouldn't you? You'd give it
Do
a
you know how to
sword.
make armor?
I have YouTube videos. I'm sure there'll be some. I'm sure there'll be like, if I type in gorilla armor, surely it'll come up.
Tutorial how to make gorilla armor.
There'll be someone out there.
There's a guy who's like, right, I know you're in need of some. If you're ever in need of some great gorilla armor, this is always how I go about it.
After Harambe,
I
need to protect
made
every
some
single.
brilliant gorilla armor. You can start using this in all of your zoos and for whatever gorilla army you're making.
How lit would that be? A gorilla with armor, swords, yeah, like throwing knives, so that big, really big daggers.
Really, though? A gorilla's just strong. It doesn't need throwing knives.
Would it not make it better though?
Well, gorilla's like 10 times faster than you, so
Yeah, imagine
it just
having
doesn't need a ranged weapon.
a gorilla with throwing knives and a sword is way more
Okay,
threatening.
a sword, yeah, cool. Because a sword, it can just hit something twice as hard as you would.
Okay.
It just doesn't need a ranged weapon, though, I don't think.
How about
because
just give it a machine gun? Like,
what is it, though?
a minigun.
I've seen, no. Right, I've seen, there's this, like, a trailer that I saw a while ago for, like, this Russian superhero movie. And, like, it was actually, like, really, fairly good CGI. Like, it was quite modern. It was only, like, a year ago, too. And it was, like, 4 people. And they all had different superpowers. I think one guy had, like, earth powers. Sort of like an earthbender in Avatar. Except it could only, like, come out of him. So he'd, like, just make big rock fists, basically, and just punch people.
Oh, right.
I think one woman could go in. I think the girl could go invisible.
Oh.
It's also
It's always
the very
the girl.
standard because it's 3 guys and a girl.
And a girl.
And the girl goes invisible.
With
Yeah.
protective shield
I
powers
can't
sometimes.
remember what one of the guys did. I think he was kind of like, you know, Nightcrawler out of X-Men, where he could just teleport. And he
Yeah.
had some blades.
Yeah.
And then the other guy could just turn into a bear. Like, that was his power. He just turned into a bear, and you know what was great? They gave the bear a minigun. So he'd turn into a bear, and he'd hold a minigun, and that was his power. It was like, nah, the bear's not enough, you need a minigun.
That's so dumb. Out of
But like,
everything
it sort of explained in the trailer that the minigun wasn't part of his powers. Like, he could just turn into a bear, but the minigun was just something they gave him.
Out of everything you could have chosen, like for someone's superpower, let's turn him into a
He just
bear.
turns into a bear.
Why not shapeshifting and just let him turn into any
Nah, just a
animal?
bear. That's more CGI then.
Oh, I just can't be bothered with that.
If
Or
you just
get
make
real.
a bear, then you can just do a really detailed bear model.
No.
And that's it, you've just got a good bear.
Just get real animals in.
Okay, so get a real bear to stand up on its hand like some old minigun.
No, CGI the bear, but when it comes to like...
You can you shapeshift, but you can, whatever animal you turn into, you have to carry a minigun.
And bear's his favourite. So it's most often bear.
Yeah. It's occasionally it's crab with minigun.
Or rat with minigun,
Rat
if
with
he
minigun.
has to like
And the
go in
minigun
small.
scales with size.
Oh yeah, of
So
course.
yeah, of course. So it's a rat
Obviously.
with a tiny minigun that just feels like you're getting hit with like,
Yeah,
ow, stop. Oi. Kind of irritating. That tickles a little bit, stop.
Oh, I like it. Carry on.
Or
Yeah.
if you just wail with minigun.
Hey, that'd be sick though.
Because you just get a really big minigun and you wouldn't even have to move because
Yeah,
you just have a
exactly.
huge minigun.
Or you just go to the top of like a big boy building, and then turn into a whale, and then get your minigun, and then you'd like flatten, and while going down,
While
shoot.
falling.
Yeah, while falling, it shoot.
What would you have to be aiming at? What would require a minigun that big? Godzilla level monster.
I was
Like
thinking.
Pacific Rim.
I was thinking more spaceship, like Transformers,
Okay, yeah.
but
Yeah,
either
no,
one
same.
really.
Yeah, but it applies to both.
Did you just Pacific Rim or Pacific Rim? I thought.
Pacific Rim.
Okay, I thought you said Specific Rim, and I was
Pacific
like,
Rim. No, I love Pacific Rim. That's something
Do
I
you?
should have brought up
Do
last
you?
week whilst we was talking about movies. I should have brought up Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim's so good.
The only bit
Do you
I
not
liked,
like it?
the only bit I liked in that was.
I thought you
the-
hadn't seen it.
No, I have. I haven't
Okay.
seen the second.
Oh, I haven't seen the second.
The only bit I liked in that was like the hand-to-hand combat. You know when?
Oh yeah, but like
had the
that's
little-
why I love it.
No, not the hand-to-hand combats with the big boy monsters.
Oh, like the mean people.
Yeah, they had like a little falling out, and they started going.
Well, I love Pacific Rim for the same reason that I love like Transformers. Like I don't care about the plot. Who
It's
cares
just
about the plot?
big
It's
robot
just
fights.
big fights. I love it. What were we talking about? Bears with machine guns. What
Evolution
other cool
points.
animals could you have with
Point
machine
systems.
guns?
I don't know. Eagle.
What about if you was a T-Rex? What would the size of the machine gun scale with? Would it scale with the size of the T-Rex, or to man
Arms.
to man it, you would have to have a very small machine gun?
It'd have to go with the arms, wouldn't it?
Minigun even. Yeah, would have to go with the arms, otherwise he just won't be able to use it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Or else he'd be like crushing his arms under the pressure.
Yeah.
Can
So
they
it'd
only
be-
bend it a certain amount? So they have like,
They had small ones.
but can they bend it the full way?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like we
they were
do.
really strong arms though.
Well, yeah.
They could lift up like a car
Well, I assumed so.
with the arm. It was that strong, but like they just didn't use them. So that's going back to the points thing.
Yo, imagine if
They
a
didn't use
dinosaur
it.
went gym. That'd be the.
That's
That-
just another incredible
is-
thought.
Don't you think it's so weird that dinosaurs used to be a thing?
Yeah,
Massive.
I mean, you know this. I absolutely love dinosaurs.
Sam has a slight obsession with.
Dinosaurs, and I'm very proud of said obsession.
It's just mad, isn't it?
I
Things
probably
that
know too much about dinosaurs.
things that are like
It's
the
great.
size of churches or whatever
Yeah,
used to just be walking around.
I mean not here.
No, it'd be
We had
like in rainforest, that kind of
had-
area, right?
we had small theropods, so like T-Rexes, but like smaller ones.
That's like velociraptors almost.
No, we had ones like half the size of a house.
That's still mad.
That's still big.
Still
we had
mad.
them here. We had those that, well, bigger than half the size of a house. Like 3/4 of a house.
Mm.
Anything that we scale now is scaled with houses.
How about just a football pitch instead?
No, because that one I actually needed a house. I should have used a football pitch though.
Yeah, you should have. And then you gone, wait. Then you should have gone, oh, wait, no.
Actually,
It's just a house.
Just a house. Yeah. Yeah, so evolution. Yeah, it's very much like a point system. Like I said, I'll show you the YouTube channel because it's very interesting. I forget what the name is, so I can't plug it now.
Can't plug it.
Plug it.
Just type in dinosaur evolution. No, evolution. You might find it.
Whatever.
Game point system.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know.
Your keywords. That's how you find channels.
Like ours. Sam and Adam. Name this podcast. Oh wait, no, the Creation Podcast.
The Creation
Project.
God, 3 tries. 3 tries it took you.
Messed up. Sick one. Nice one, Adam.
Nice. Oh my God, it's so cold in here.
What's our next incredible?
Next incredible thought. Well, are we done talking about evolution?
I don't know. I thought we were.
Oh, that's a point I was going to make about evolution. I think the only way we'll probably evolve is maybe our thumbs will get bigger.
That looks.
I mean, though, our thumbs will get bigger just because we're always on a phone. That's the constant. Everyone uses a phone. And a bigger thumb makes easy access with phones. And phones are getting bigger, so probably our thumbs will just get bigger.
You see, I think it'll be something to do with neck and back as well. Because if you're on your phone all the time, you're always in this hunched
And that's
position.
something we do a lot now anyway, whether it's fun or not.
Exactly.
So maybe we'll grow a bit. Maybe we'll grow a bit of a hunch.
Yeah, I think people will start to hunch over, and we'll have neck
Kind of like Wall-E.
problems.
Like, you know, by the end of Wall-E, they're all in chairs. Is it Wall-E?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Wall-E.
it's Wall-E. Where they're all in floating chairs because they're all so fat.
Yeah. Wow, what a life!
Yeah.
I'd hate that.
What other things have we got? We've got. This is one that you said even earlier in this podcast. The brain named itself.
Yeah,
The brain named itself.
the brain has named every single thing.
Yeah, that has a name.
Is it true that we only use like 10% of the?
I don't know.
Because
No,
I
because
don't believe that.
it's a myth. I'm pretty sure. It's a myth.
It
That,
just
like,
seems.
it's believable that we only use like 10% of our brain. That's something that you'd say in like primary school, isn't it?
It's just bigging ourselves
And
up,
then-
isn't it?
And then what is it? I'm pretty sure I've like read things before where scientists are like, no way we only use 10% of our brain. That's absurd. Of course we use more.
I feel like it's just bigging ourselves up. It's like in a test when you
I
got.
don't think we use all of it.
No, probably not. No, we'll use consciously a good 10%, but the rest of it's always working, but we just don't
Yeah.
acknowledge.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But I feel like the 10% thing is like, you know, when you fail a test and you get 10%, you just go, oh well, I only tried for 10%. I feel like it's like, oh well, we're only using 10% of this brain. We could be way
Do you
smarter.
think that was the origin of the phrase?
Yeah.
Some kid got 10% on the thing and he was like, well, it's only because I was using 10% of my brain. And then it just kind of Chinese whispered its way into people only use 10% of their brain. Well, they made a movie about it, didn't they? That Lucy. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson.
Really weird start, but the
Really-
rest of it's
I mean,
alright.
kind of weird ending as well.
The ending
It's weird throughout, really. Like, it doesn't stop.
One thing that really got me tripping was she went right at the end. She goes, what we've learned is 1 + 1 = 2, but what if 1 + 1 equals anything? And I was like,
I don't remember that bit, but that sounds like it goes right into that movie.
it does the.
That doesn't.
It's AIDS. How would that ever work?
I don't know.
You only have a certain amount of mass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird movie.
If I have.
I think it was after that movie that like I saw like articles where it was like, no, of course we don't only use 10%. What are you on about?
Of course we don't use 10%. It's absurd.
It's absurd. Plus, we'd have probably figured out a way to use more if we only used 10%.
It'd be quite cool though.
It's cool to imagine that we use only 10% and what we could be capable of, but no, it's just much.
And plus, in that film, there were like, when she got to 40, she could like control.
Oh, she was like
the network.
She was like telekinetic and crap, wasn't
And she could control like network of like the internet and stuff like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, which is
Which is
just
like
absurd because that's a thing that
no, because
only exists because we made it. Like,
Yeah.
What would your power have to be with that?
imagine if we didn't make the internet and
Yeah,
she
then,
had like 40%.
40% is just a bit dull. You're like,
Yeah.
God, thought I'd be able to unlock something new at this point, but turns out I can't. Alright, what's on 50% then?
And then 50% is like moving other things around.
I can't remember, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie.
And then
Yeah, I just remember how weird it was.
it kind of skipped through
And like
70,
she
80,
unlocked
90.
more of it because she had like drugs inserted into like her intestine or something.
Yeah, at the start of the film, she's like kidnapped almost.
Yeah, and it's because they're like trafficking it through
Yeah.
like the stomach.
and
But
then,
she actually just gets like punched in her stomach and then it like leaks or something.
yeah,
It's like a really
the
crap excuse for like
because
why she's able to unlock.
mob gangsters, whatever they are, right? They would never create a bag so fragile that someone could just punch
And if
them in
you
the
knew
stomach.
that person had the drugs inside of them, then you wouldn't punch them because you know that's money.
Yeah,
That guy would have got killed for what he did, probably.
it's
Weird.
a bit of a dumb film, but it's
Worth a
whatever.
watch.
I mean, yeah, it's worth a watch
It's-
because it's
It's a
interesting.
long time since I've seen it.
It's got Morgan Freeman in it.
Morgan Freeman, yeah, I remember him.
Always a good.
Morgan Freeman,
Good
Scarlett
actor.
Johansson, those are the only notable actors I can remember from that movie,
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty much.
Because it don't really follow.
I mean, they're the only main characters, really, in it. Morgan Freeman's like a side plot, isn't he? He introduces the... I'm not even going to pretend to do his voice.
He's
What if we could use more than 10% of our brain? That was more Bane from Dark Knight Rises. Batman.
he's not a side plot. He's like
Well, it's two plot lines that meet in the end, don't they? Because it finishes with those two meeting, doesn't it?
kinda, yeah.
That should be a new series. We should just try to review movies that we haven't seen in years. Rather than reviewing a movie that we just watched. No, it's one we haven't seen for 10 years.
Through vague memory.
Through vague memory alone. Okay, what else have we got? How big is the universe? Where do we fall in the universe? This is something that everyone's thought of at least once.
Okay, so
Trying to imagine what's beyond that.
I have watched a video on this,
Okay.
and
My God.
I couldn't comprehend. I don't think anyone could. In the video,
No.
he went, "No
God,
one can
no.
comprehend how big it actually is." Sorry about that.
No, God, no.
Okay, so you have
Earth.
Earth,
You
obviously.
have Cleckheaton.
You have my house.
Centre of the universe. This garage right here. With us two. Centre of the universe. Let's work our way out like that, actually.
Okay,
This
so
garage.
okay, so we have this mic that we're talking into.
This mic right here.
Boom, boom, boom.
No, actually gonna hit it.
No, I won't actually.
And then zoom out, you've got us
So then we have-
in this garage.
Us in a small, cramped area.
Yeah.
Well, not that.
In a box.
In a box.
Oh. Links. We've evolved to make this box. Where will we go now?
I thought
I'm trying to throw back to everything.
You said links, and I thought, why are you on about like deodorant?
Anyway,
Okay.
and then this box is in
My garden,
your garden.
and then this garden is on this street,
On
which
the
I'm not
street.
gonna disclose.
And then this street is in Cleckheaton,
And then Cleck's in, we'll just say Yorkshire. Go out like
West
that.
Yorkshire.
West Yorkshire, Yorkshire, England, Britain.
Oh, slow down.
Europe.
I'm trying to comprehend this now. I'm trying to zoom out with my mind's eye.
I'm just doing it a bit faster.
Okay, then England, Great Britain, Europe,
Mm-hmm.
which is a big place.
Unless you want to go British Isles, because that like includes.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, but
Sorry.
I mean, like, in my mind's eye, when I'm zooming out, I'm not gonna think, Oh, I'm not including Ireland.
No, Ireland does come into
Whoever
picture.
draws Great Britain, whenever you draw Great Britain, who only puts Northern Ireland in it? No, you just draw all of Ireland.
No, you like cut the traitors out.
The traitors. Anyway,
So Europe, then you have
the world.
half of the world,
Half the world.
and then
And what is that half of the world? Does that include
No, stop.
Africa, then the Middle East,
Yeah, I guess.
and a bit of Asia?
This is testing his geography now.
A bit of Asia.
And a bit of...
Half of Asia. And then the other half, when it zooms out, includes the rest of Asia and all of the Americas.
And the Aussies.
And the Aussies.
Can't forget the Aussies.
It's going to be the Aussies.
Yeah. I feel like the continent that everyone forgets about is Oceania. Oh, and Antarctica.
And Antarctica.
And those two.
The poles.
The poles.
North and south.
Not the poles.
No.
The poles.
Then we've got just Earth.
Okay, so we have Earth now. Then we go out to the moon.
We zoom out to the moon. Oh yes, Earth and moon.
And it takes how long to get to the moon?
Oh, I don't know.
No idea. I know how long
Have we
it
even
takes.
been to the moon?
Oh, that's a topic
That's
for
a topic for
another
day.
one. Another day.
Conspiracy theories, not today.
Which we might be doing with guests on.
We've planned to do with guests. We made, we decided not last night, but the night before that we were gonna do that one with guests.
Yes, because
When they approached and was like,
We were-
Yo,
yeah.
can we do one with you? And we was like, yeah, sure. What do you want to do? And they were like, conspiracy theories, straight up.
because they're massive on them.
So
Shout
I was
out.
like, yeah, sure. Well, you'll find out when we get to it. You know
Okay,
who you
right.
are. You know who you are.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the moon.
The moon.
Debatable with difference.
If it's even real. Is it just fake?
No. Yeah. Everything we've been told is a lie. The sun isn't a sun, it's just a massive lamp.
We're just some kid science project.
Yeah.
I'm still a believer in that theory.
That's another conspiracy theory.
We're just some alien kid science project. Anyway, and then we've got the solar system as we know it, which
Mhm.
is the sun all the way to Pluto. I'm including Pluto because I'm one to involve everyone.
Oh.
I like to involve everybody.
Okay.
And then we have the Milky Way.
We have the Milky Way. So the Milky Way is then compiled from a bigger entity. I've forgotten what the name for it is, but it's like a bigger thing that is filled with galaxies the
Other
size.
different galaxies.
Yeah, the size of the Milky Way. And then you zoom out from that, and you get another bigger entity, which is comprised of
The entities before it, which are full of entities the size of the Milky Way.
yeah. Let's call okay. So the
So we've got the Milky Way, and then the other galaxies, right?
yeah.
And then we zoom out, and we've got this entity, who what
Which-
we're gonna rename now as
We'll call it Timothy.
Timothy. Okay.
Entity Timothy.
Entity
right.
Timothy.
Right. So
And
then.
then we zoom out, and we've got a ton of entity Timothys
Yep.
in
In Joanne.
Joanne.
Entity Joanne.
Yeah.
So we have Joanne, and then
And
we
then
have.
we've got a ton of Joannes.
Yep, a ton of Joannes, which is in a bigger entity, which I think this is the second to last one now. So we'll call this entity Sam and Adam.
Entity Sam.
Right.
Okay.
And then we get out to this big one, which makes the universe.
All known conceivable universe. Right.
Not known, viewable or like
The viewable
like
universe.
yeah.
Okay.
So
It could be even bigger than that.
it is
Wow.
bigger. So
It is bigger than that.
there's
But that's the viewable. So the rest of this
the
is
whole
just,
universe that we can see is because obviously light travels.
Yeah.
So the edge of the universe that we can see, we're actually seeing
is only
it
what
like
we can see so far,
yeah,
right?
and we're seeing that like 10 million
Oh yeah.
years before it actually is in time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because if from there they looked at Earth, they'd probably see.
They'd see dinosaurs.
They'd see dinosaurs.
Well, maybe not dinosaurs. Probably
later.
later. Maybe not even Earth yet.
Maybe not even Earth yet. Yeah. To what it was before. They'll see Cybertron.
So, the universe is expanding at the speed of light or faster.
So we'll never see the end of it.
Never.
Never.
It's expanding at the speed of light or faster, while the speed of light is coming back to us. Do you see why that's a problem?
Yeah. Because we'll never see it.
We'll never see it.
It's double time. Even if we could see the end of it and get it back to us in just a single speed of light, then it's already longer. So double time, it's going at double the rate that we can view it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. To get to another galaxy, it'd take like 100 light years. So that's 100 years travelling at the speed of light just to get to another galaxy. Or something like that.
Yeah, but I bet it's sick.
Yeah, but it's absolutely lit.
When you get there, though, it'll be crazy.
And they're talking about making voyages to Earth 2.0. Don't know if you've heard about this.
Yeah, so apparently there's another Earth.
Yeah, which...
Or similar. Bet they do the same weird stuff that we do here. Can you imagine?
I reckon it'd be, like, different.
Or it's like the exact same.
Yeah.
Everyone is there. Everyone's here.
Everyone has, like, twins of everyone.
Yeah.
So it's literally a copy. That'd be
Imagine.
weird. But
yeah, they're having the same problems and plan to come to us. And we're like, no, we're just as screwed as you are.
But obviously we can't see how screwed they are because of the light that it takes. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, crazy.
And then you have black holes, which are chucked in the mix, which are created from white neutron stars, which explode.
I try to remember year 10. Create supernovas.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm coming back to. Which explode. No, implode.
They say we've never seen a supernova. Because if one would happen, they say we'd probably be in daylight for a week. It's that bright.
That's mad. How crazy would that be?
Just being in daylight for a week. I mean, it could have already happened because it'll take God knows how long to get here.
Okay, yeah. But it's so weird.
Yeah, imagine that stuff could be happening right now in the universe, but we won't know for like ages.
Then you have wormholes. Do you know how wormholes work?
No, not out of the realms of science fiction.
Okay, so imagine you have like a piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
And you lay it flat on a table.
Fold it 7 times.
No.
Which is impossible, I'm joking.
Yeah. You lay the piece of paper flat on the table.
Draw a 9 by 9 grid on it. Put an X in one of them.
Actually, it is like a grid.
Okay,
apparently.
I was trying to make a game of noughts and crosses. Like, go on.
It is like a grid. So there's like 2 layers apparently. But, okay, so you get a piece of paper.
Piece of paper flat on the table.
And you like push the 2 ends together so you get like a bump in the middle.
Yeah.
And that is how wormholes are that's how wormholes are created. From the bump where the paper touches
from one side to the other.
Yeah, where the paper touches at the bottom of the bump.
Yeah.
That is how a wormhole is done.
So it's sort of going. So it's just basically a
Taking a shortcut.
shortcut. Yeah. Oh, we could get to F2.0 that way. Just make a wormhole.
But apparently we couldn't survive it.
Just slide the 2 pieces of ends of the paper
Paper
together.
together.
Decent. Go anywhere we want now. Put one right next to Earth. We just make tons of them next.
Put
to
one
Earth.
right next to centre of Earth, centre of world, centre of the universe.
Put one right
here.
next to his garage, and we'll just
transporting to somewhere else.
go to a warmer place to do our podcast because it's cold here.
It's freezing. Also, a little fun fact about a black hole. A black hole could never be created on this Earth. So when people like worry about like the neutron collider or whatever it's called,
Yeah,
everyone's like, "Oh
You're gonna
no,
make a black hole. You're gonna kill us all."
we don't have the mass on Earth to be able to create a black hole because you need to get a mass so tight, get this mass so tightly together, and it has to be so much of it in a tight space that the paper just goes in.
Like in on itself.
It just goes in on itself. So you have this paper and you've just gone through it. Where does that paper go to?
Weird.
And that's a black hole for you.
That's another inconceivable thought.
Honestly, right. You know when you're like doing research or you're doing homework.
Yeah.
And you look on the recommended YouTube videos because you've just watched
random stuff.
Yeah, and you just see like, yo, could we time travel? Oh wow! Wait, the universe is how big? Yeah, that's basically what I did to get all this information. Also, apparently we could make light crystals.
Okay, but what is that?
Crystals made
If it's not an infinity stone, I'm disappointed.
Crystals made out of light.
Yeah, I got that much, believe it or not.
No, it's not an infinity. It doesn't have any special properties.
But what?
It's literally just
Made of light.
made of light.
Touchable light.
Yes.
Basically.
This, I can't remember because I read it somewhere, but I don't think they actually made it. I think this was...
This is hypothesized.
Yeah. But the math worked out.
Math worked out.
Which is really interesting. Because light's an interesting one. Because light is... It acts as a wave.
Yeah.
So like it acts as like a radio wave.
Radio waves, microwaves,
Infrared, radiation, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays.
I wonder how many people joined in with that as we started then.
I know.
If you didn't know that, then God.
I know.
God knows how you passed GCSE science.
That literally got me through physics.
That's Einstein level stuff right there.
Beauty. So it acts as a wave, but also as like a mass, like a force, a mass. But it has no mass. I watched a video and they pushed something. They pushed like something on wheels
An object with light.
With pure light, using pure light. So light has no mass. And you know the equation, mass times speed equals momentum.
Yeah.
Well, it has zero mass but a lot of speed. So that means it shouldn't have any momentum, but to push something, it has that momentum.
Yeah, weird.
How does it work?
God.
The universe is such a mystery.
So weird. Mystery. Other mysteries. We're on the topic of science, so I didn't want to bring that up right there. I had just done another thing. That's a different discussion for another day. I'll tell you about that later. Okay, we've pretty much covered everything on this. Oh, no, there's one more here, which I thought about yesterday. And this we should have probably brought this up back when we was talking about evolution and stuff. But yeah, the fact of and I know people are against this, but the fact that we eat animals, I was thinking about this and it was weird, right? The fact that we just eat animals, but it's not just animals, it's processed.
And what do you mean by processed?
I mean the fact that we farm them, kill them, then basically take their meat, do whatever we do with it, and then bang, it's on the shelf in Tesco's. And it's 4 fillet burgers.
And think about how many people... Okay, so it's Sunday today. How many people are having a Sunday dinner?
Yeah.
Millions. Millions of people have gone to the shop and bought half of a dead chicken or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I was thinking about it and it was just weird. Because I know some people are against it, obviously.
Of course.
I'm not personally. I'll just say I'm not personally. even as someone who loves animals, because I mean, man's got to eat.
Man's got to
Man's
eat.
got to eat.
I mean, yeah, man's got to
And
eat.
I'm not about to live on
But
vegetables.
there is other
There's other ways, obviously.
alternatives, isn't
But
there?
I don't know. I'm not one for those alternatives.
I mean, I am. I probably would if I liked it. I'm.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm a fussy eater. I'm a
Yeah,
fussy
so
eater.
am I.
So we're both of us are fussy
Both of
eaters.
us are fussy
So when it comes to
I didn't realise just how fussy an eater you was either.
no, because I don't make it that
So,
obvious, do I?
No, because you always eat, but like, it's never anything exotic.
No, never at all.
Someone's crawling across our roof. Wait, is that spider still there? 1 second. Oh yeah, it's still there. It's still gross. God. God, that's disgusting. I hate it. We need to get rid of it.
Oh, you ate the
Imagine
spider.
what would have happened if we burnt it. Because I don't know what you looked up, but I'm guessing that burning it wasn't a good idea.
I don't know. I feel like burning it would be more fun, if anything.
But imagine if like all of them like started running about and there's like these little spiders on fire.
Yo,
That would have been crazy.
that would have been sick.
Made for a
That's quite harsh.
Made for a good video. Oh yeah, are you kidding me? That's quite harsh. Everyone hates spiders.
Yeah, but then you get these. We're talking about eating animals as are insects animals.
Well, yes. So,
Really? I thought they were on their own category.
I mean, yeah. Well, no, because
Like plants.
I know because animals is the very wide thing, right?
Yeah, animals.
So a subcategory within animals is insects, mammals,
Birds.
reptiles, birds.
No, I've always thought of insects being like okay, so
Fish.
we have like animals. So your standard animals, and then you have insects, then you have plants.
Oh, so that was your three separations of the category. I don't know how you could not class insects as an animal, but class stuff like fish.
I don't know. I've never really thought about it too much, but you make
No,
a good
fair
point
enough.
of your animals and then subcategories of insects,
Fish.
mammals, and all that crap.
Reptiles. Birds.
Amphibian. No, wait. Reptile.
Wait, what's that from again?
Over the edge.
Oh yeah.
You know that
He's talking
weird.
about
the-
the turtle.
Wait,
I was
yeah,
like,
with the shell.
what are you doing, sniffing the mic?
That's what he does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Amphibian. Okay, I'll do it again. And then you have the big boy bear where he's like, RJ!
See, it's been such a long time since I've seen Over the Head.
Should we review that movie as well?
I like the idea of reviewing like C tier movies, C/D tier movies. We never review like a Wolf of Wall Street. We only review like Over the Hedges.
Over the Edge is a good film. Well, it's mediocre.
No, but I mean as in like
I
for
guess.
what it is. Like it's never gonna win an Academy Award.
I wish it did.
Best picture goes to Over the Hedge.
What's that thing where he goes, Stella?
I don't know.
Where is that from? I don't know, but it's in
I don't
Over
know.
It.
Someone's probably heard that and been like, oh yeah, it's this. And now they're really annoyed that we can't think
Yeah.
about what it actually
But it's in Over the Hedge. So
Oh,
I
is
think
it?
I
Okay,
think
never
Over the
mind.
Hedge has referenced it.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So you think it's from something else first?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Over the Hedge is referenced because the skunk is called.
I think I found something out as well.
I can't
You know, in
remember.
Ice Age 3? Because this is
Wait,
something-
which one's that?
the one with the
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
Of
'Cause
course.
we make a lot of Ice Age references as well. Ice Age, another like C tier
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
which you can reference. We just like skip over Ice Age 1 and just do Ice Age 3.
We keep referencing the last melon.
Well, there's one bit in Ice Age 3, you know, the bit where it's like a crime scene, and it's like, dinosaur eats Sid and leaves Sid a vegetable.
He's like, I died.
But I
lived.
Did you die? Sadly,
Yes.
but I lived.
Man, such a good film.
But I think I found what the broccoli thing was a reference from. I think I found out what it was because I was watching this really old program the other day. And it's called I think it's called Dolan's Dark Place, something like that. And it was really funny. It's got him from. He's got that guy, I forget his name. He's from the IT crowd, you know, him with like the afro hair. And he wears the glasses.
Yeah.
And he has a voice a little bit like this.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Yeah, that's what. It had him in it.
He does Crystal Maze now, I think.
Yeah, he did do
Okay.
Crystal Maze, yeah. Yeah, it had him in it, and it was like, it was a really old program. And it was really funny. It was about like, it was like a show within a show,
Mm-hmm.
sort of, but it didn't really think much about the exterior show, if you get what I mean. So it was like, oh, it's based in this hospital called Dark Place Hospital, and it goes on about different things that happen in there, but like once every like 15 minutes it'll come out and it'll be like the actors talking about their roles and be like, oh, in this episode like that,
Yeah.
even though like they're still in a role for it, so they're not actually playing themselves. It's still a comedy.
That's
And it's a comedy
interesting.
all the way through.
That is interesting, though.
It was really funny though. I watched it with Aaliyah the other day. It's so funny. But yeah, on one of the episodes, like this green mist comes down from the air, and like this woman inhales it, and then she starts to turn into broccoli. It's the strangest. There's the strangest plot lines ever. But yeah, and there was one scene in that, and it was like, if we don't do something about this soon, her condition will worsen, and then she'll be left, and then the guy from the IT crowd just went, a vegetable. And it was a bit more obvious than what it was, but I feel like that's where the reference came from.
Probably.
Probably.
They're probably like, yo, that's banner.
That is so funny. Let's do it in this.
Just like our Head Boy videos. Which
aren't on the channel yet.
I said I was gonna upload them Tuesday, but
And you
then
just
I just didn't. It's not even that hard. Honestly, it's literally I press 2 buttons and leave it to do it, and then
I'll keep giving you reminders throughout the week then.
okay.
I don't have any more incredible fun. Right, so it's a bit of a shorter one this week.
But we thought we'd test out the hour and a half long ones compared to the hour long ones and see what.
Which ones you prefer?
Yeah. So let us know whether you want the hour and a half long ones or if this hour
The
one
one's fine.
has been better.
Yeah,
And that's all.
that's about it.
So
It's about that time. So yeah.
I hope
like,
you've enjoyed.
comment, and subscribe.
Please do subscribe. We have 8 subscribers. We want more.
Hit that bell for that.
Notification.
I get notifications every time we upload.
That's it for this
No.
podcast.
Yeah, and then we'll be back next week probably.
Alright. Adam and Sam.
Hopefully we'll get
Sam
rid
and
of the
Adam.
spider by that
Oh
point.
yeah, true. Sam and Adam signing off.
Signing off. This has been the Creation Project.